Good day, everyone. Welcome to the Monday Live Show. I have a receding hairline. Oh, my goodness. I'm your host, Mappy Davis. Over there joining me on the other line is Ugly Dave, way up in Canada. Hey, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. 2 minutes late. No, we're not. We're 2:32. That's exactly when Matt figured he should be 2 minutes late. I don't know. That's your time.
Yeah.
This is right on time for Matt.
This show starts at 5:32 or thereabouts. Thanks for checking in, Houston, Texas 94. He's here almost every single week. Feel free to leave your comments. We may read them. If you do one of those super chats, I guarantee we'll read them. You know, the super chat thing where you give us money. And Dave will probably answer almost all of your questions. Up until a few hours ago, I was prepared to talk mostly about the DEKA Atlas that took place this weekend and maybe some of the stuff that happened over in Vienna and over in Poland. But then a couple hours ago, I learned of a controversy, or as the English say, a controversy that must be spoken about. Brendan King says events are now showing on the website, but they have no results inside them. That is Brendan answering a question I sent via email. Don't do that to my ADD brain, Brendan. Just respond to the email and I'll get to it later. I'm trying to keep the hot side hot and the cool side cool. Remember that? Remember the hot side hot and the cool side cool? What's that from? McDonald's? McBLT?
McDLT.
Okay.
McDonald's.
Right. Did they have those in Canada?
Yes, we had the McDLT.
Okay.
100%. That and the McLobster.
That sounds fucking horrible.
It is, and it's usually available in Nova Scotia, where regular lobster is plentifully available and rather cheap.
I may be coming to Nova Scotia because Hybrid Fitness is taking me all over the world. I may very well be in Nova Scotia, so stay tuned.
Halifax is one of my favorite cities in the world.
Really? Would you drive like 7 hours or whatever to come? How far is that from you?
18 hours.
Okay, I don't want you to drive. Don't do that to yourself.
18, 19 hours, give or take, something like that. I've done it a long time.
Canada's big.
It's really big. It takes longer to get across Ontario than it does for me to get to Florida.
So let's talk about this controversy.
Yes.
And I did speak with the Frenchman, and it was late over there. It was broken English, and I was going to air it after this on the podcast version. But they actually sent me a letter that they sent to HYROX, and I said, can I read it? And they said yes. But I guess I want to get your ruling, Dave, as a judge and as a fan of HYROX. You're a great guy to talk to about this stuff.
Like an official.
You're unofficially official.
Are you sure you don't want to read the letter first, or do you want to just lay out what happened first? I can lay out what happened.
Why don't you lay out what happened?
Okay, what I saw.
While I post that we're live right now on Instagram, because I forget to do it every time.
I actually did it. So you can anyway.
Good job.
So basically, HYROX doubles team comes into the sled pull, goes to a lane, does roughly one pull, so one length of the box. Gets told by the judge, no, you're in the wrong lane. You need to move over to this lane. I believe it was 2 lanes over. They move over to, or 1 lane over. They move over to that lane and they start from there. The second team comes in and goes to the one adjacent to where the first team started and starts to pull there. Judge comes over to them and says, no, you're in the wrong lane. You do get to go in this lane. They go into the lane that the original first place team was in. They continue to race. At the end of the race, the one team, which I believe was the first place team in, was given a 5-second adjustment to their time. I'm assuming HYROX believes this is a judge's error. So they would had 5 seconds taken off their time. The team that came in second place was given a 2-second adjustment to their time. And I'm assuming that the team with the 2-second adjustment is upset that they did not get a 5-second adjustment. Have I put that out there pretty much as it is?
You did, except that from what I understand, it was actually changed even more than that. And I guess now we'll read it. And I think the headline for me, and I talked to Dylan Scott first because he, I was messaging, he and I were messaging about some other stuff. I said, "You see what happened?" Is if they're both affected equally, and another team crosses first, then they're first. To me, compounding that, they're both affected equally, and the other team actually got there first. So they made up the time and then some, is my point. Had they come in there first and they were both penalized and then they won, then it's a little trickier. But I think they kind of win twice. Does that make sense?
No.
If you beat a team that was ahead of you, right? You've made up time, right?
So the team that was penalized, or was not penalized, was given a 2-second advantage past the other team that was previously ahead of them,
right?
Finished ahead of them, but due to the adjustments in time, ended up on the official sheet behind them.
Well, because they gave them it had to have been a bigger penalty to make it like a 2-second and a 5-second to make it 1 second ahead. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
because they finished ahead of them, and they were behind them.
It wasn't a penalty, right? It was an adjustment, so they actually took time off them to make them faster. So it's different, right? So if that team that had the 2 seconds as opposed to 5 only finish 1 second ahead, then the other team is 2 seconds ahead of them in the overall standings. So there's a little bit of math going on. So if they finish 2 seconds ahead of them, that's your 1 second.
All right. Should we watch the video, Dave?
Yeah, the video is good. It shows it.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where it's like, oh, thank God we have video. But then I realized everybody films themselves or their friends, so it kind of worked out.
Yes.
So
vanity will keep the integrity of the sport.
Yes. But let's first, I guess, point out, why would you move anyone mid-poll? And it seems like speculation, because I haven't talked to them, the judges thought, oh, we're supposed to send you all the way to the left per our instructions to keep no lanes open, to make sure there's no queues or backups. And when they realized they did it wrong, rather than realize, wow, these guys are fast because they're the first guys through, and let's maybe fill it in later, started fucking with it mid-race, which I'm sure now have been told, don't ever do that. I think that's what happened. Don't you think what's happened?
Yeah, I would assume so. I mean, I messaged HYROX as well, but I haven't heard back. I mean, you just got this to me too, like a couple hours ago. So yeah, I would say that the judge is on the course. Probably should have just left well enough alone. Like, you'll see it here. Play it. You can play it as it goes. So they probably should have just left well enough alone. And when these guys had already got there, just allowed them to continue to pull in the lanes that they arrived in.
So right here is my mouse showing up? Yes, the Q.
Yep.
So here is Tom and Peter, and I believe this judge, who, I'm sorry, please don't be mad at us. Please, her family, don't be mad at us. We're reporting the sport. We're not saying you're a horrible person.
No.
So it appears as though, I know, but I have to say these things. So it appears as though she's already telling, I'm not sure if this is Peter or Tom. I think it's Tom. Maybe it's Peter. Sorry. Somebody in the comments could tell me. Go over here. Like, he's pulling the wrong lane. He's pulled maybe half a length here. Go start over here.
Well,
so
that's with this video not having started before then, we don't know how much he's pulled or how long he's been there. Or
my understanding, it wasn't a lot. So as you can see now, she's sending him over here. Yes. So he's about to start pulling at the same time his partner is pulling, which is also not good. Okay. Yes. So she should have either stopped. I don't know what she was going to do, but this guy stops.
Yeah.
So now she tells him, hey, stop. And he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I kind of like that. What the fuck we got going there? It's a little John Boy action. For those of you that are watching John Boy, what the fuck? Now here come our guys. Here come the Allens.
Yeah.
And he's going to pull. And she's like, no. You come pull over here. And he's like, what the fuck? Or no, I think the other guy goes, what the fuck? Okay. So now he's pulling. So now we're both pulling. And he's been swapped out for the right guy. So does that all make sense to everybody? Let's play it again without me talking.
Yep.
Or without me slowing it down. So, okay. So now they've pulled 1, 2, 3.5 pulls ahead of them. He's pulled 1, 2 pulls. He's got to come over here and pull again. So the second team, to me, was in the bigger deficit. because they had to pull twice and they came in 5 seconds after. That's why, to me, they won twice.
However, when they got to do their pull where they were reassigned to the lane, that sled had already moved. So they weren't getting full length on that pull.
Okay.
Which is probably why they got the 2 second reduction as opposed to the 5.
Right. Got it.
That's why their time adjustments would have been different. Now, I agree the judge should not have moved them. She should have just left, okay, well enough as it is. But having done this, that adjustment, having not been, I don't know how far those sleds were running, but assuming the distance they went, that's the reason in my mind for the different time adjustments.
Okay, so let's just play. Let's say I am the owner of HYROX.
Yep.
And you are my judge of judges. Yep. You are the capo de capos. And I go, Dave, what's your call based on the judge made a mistake? What is your call, Dave?
On this one, that's really tough because it's a scenario where our judge made a mistake.
Right.
Our judge, essentially tried to do the right thing, but caused an issue. I probably would have tried to make a time adjustment as well because it's not the athlete's fault. Now,
but do you take away a victory of it from a team that did, in fact, as we'll get to in the letter, had all the whole race to make up those seconds and did.
Yeah, but then you can argue, the argument becomes from the other team is, well, they didn't have to pull the sled as much as we did. And if they beat us by 2 seconds, like they crossed the line 2 seconds ahead of us,
they came in 5 seconds later. They came in again. The fact that they came in second to me is what makes it why I side with them.
So the way for me is if you're going to apply the adjustment, you apply the adjustment. It doesn't matter what happened through the rest of the race. I'm only focused on that one particular moment in time. And then whatever happens in the rest of the race. And unfortunately with HYROX, I'm sure that this was chip timed race because they have multiple waves. Unless I'm wrong in this one.
No. This was chip time.
Chip time race. So there could be coming into play as well. So it becomes one of those. It's a horrible situation, and it's sad that a little like a mistake from that, an innocent mistake on that judge's part who was just trying to do the right thing. She's like, I was told they need to fill up the lanes. That's what I'm trying to do,
but I'm putting you on the spot and saying you have to make a call, just like you did in wherever Ocala, wherever you've been.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to determine a victory, or you could do what they did in Dubai and make a tie.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that. But I'm going to make a time adjustment for my judge's mistake, and I'm going to try to make it as accurate as possible. And then that's what the time is.
I know, but you're not answering the question. If you don't want to answer,
I'm saying I would do what they did.
You would have given the victory to Peter and Tom over Alan. And
I would have gave the victory to the team with the fastest time in this scenario because it's a chip time, and that is including the time adjustments we made.
Okay, well then you and I are in disagreement, but that's okay.
That's cool. That's cool, right? But
what do you think, folks? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah. So I'm just going by.
Light us up in the comments.
I'm going by, like I said, they're a chip time race. The judge made an error. They went with that. I don't know how they calculated the 5 seconds versus the 2 seconds, so I don't know if that's right or wrong.
Well, and so
I just don't have all the information.
Right, and that's the problem is we don't have all the information, and this is where it gets tricky. And again, this is all, as we would say in court, hearsay because we weren't there, right? But the letter I was sent, I really don't want to read the whole thing, but it's so good. How much of this should I read, Dave? It's really good.
Oh, go ahead, read whatever. Read it is a good letter, but it is also a very one-sided letter.
Right. All right. My biggest complaint is when people read on podcasts. I'm like, I can go to the article. Don't make fucking. But this is a letter from someone that you don't have, so I have to read it. Okay. Anything I think okay. Following a post-race complaint from Team Belgium, this was Alan and Alan to HYROX. I don't know where they sent this email, but they sent it to HYROX, quote unquote. Following a post-race complaint, and if this is after the show, you can listen to this on 2 times speed. Get through it quicker. Following a post-race complaint from Team Belgium, that's Tom and I already forgot their names. I said it 5 times already.
That's all right.
Tom and Peter. Hereforth known as Team Belgium, regarded an alleged judge error on the sled pull. A 5-second deduction was immediately granted, adjusting their official time to 49:05 and overturning the result. We immediately questioned this decision, and after our own complaint and video review, it was confirmed that the 5-second deduction was not justified. If we had not challenged it, the initial correct ruling would have been upheld, which proves how flawed the process was. Instead of correcting the mistake and reinstating the rightful winner, a second ruling was made, Both teams were given a 2-second deduction for being directed to the wrong lane. Then an additional 2 sets of sections were deducted for Belgium based on a subjective judgment of pulling distance while completely disregarding all other time losses during the race. Anything you want to say so far?
Well, that's pretty much what I guessed had happened, right? Was that they made an extra adjustment to the team that had to pull the full length as opposed to the team that had
pulled more than the full length.
Yeah, that pulled more than a full length as opposed to the other team who got less off because they got to pull from the lane that had already been pulled.
While we respect the difficult nature of officiating races, we firmly believe that the final ruling does not reflect the competition for the following reasons. Number one, inconsistent application of rules. The initial 5-second deduction was applied without a thorough review and without consultation with the on-site judges, who were not officially aware of the decision. The subsequent reconsideration acknowledged that an error was made, yet the ruling still resulted in an outcome that does not fairly account for all judging inconsistencies. This is quite impressive English. I don't know if they use ChatGPT or they just are better English writers than talkers, but this is very impressive. Number two.
Well, I'm going to say one thing about that, what you read there. So that said, when I said my part, I would not have used video replay for this unless my judge came to me and said, this is what happened. I need you to look at this.
So this is the problem, because according to, and I think they're going to get to it here, they said when they went up to the judge wasn't even aware that this adjustment had already been made. So somewhere in timing, right? Somewhere in timing. But again, we don't know. This is just what we were told. Judging affects it. Number two, judging errors affected both teams, but only one benefited. Both teams were impacted by a misjudgment at the sled pull, but only one received a time of judgment in their favor. Alan and I were sent to the wrong lane and then redirected to the lane where Team Belgium had already started. However, the sled was not reset to its proper starting position, meaning we had to pull a sled that had already been moved a little bit, quote unquote, I'm saying quote unquote, by another team. But upon review, this contributed to a roughly estimated 1 meter difference in pulling distance, which ultimately became the deferring factor in the ruling. However, this disadvantage was entirely caused by judging errors and could have been naturally compensated for during the race. After the finish line, no athlete has the opportunity to adjust their performance. Anything else before I go to the next paragraph?
No, you're good.
3, unclear and selective review. Don't wait. I should have made you read this, Dave.
Oh, I'm dyslexic. That would have been a bad move.
Unclear and selective review process. The final ruling was based on an approximate measurement of pulling distance, yet did not account for the differences in time lost to misdirection before the sled pull even began. If post-race adjustments are to be made based on video review, then all potential judging inconsistencies throughout the entire race should be considered, not just a single station. This is our DEKA issue, right?
Yeah.
Almost home, guys. 78% there. Why is this unacceptable? The judging mistake happened on the third station, meaning both teams had an entire race to compensate for any advantage or disadvantage. If race times are changed after the finish, then every error should be reviewed, not just one that benefits a single team. We didn't make a mistake, yet we lost the race to a series of judging errors that followed the first mistake from opposite team benefited from. Last, how can it be said that these gifted 2 seconds were the determining factor for Belgium's loss when we still had the entire race ahead? Remind everybody, this is the third of 8 stations. We could have still won in the end, as race strategy, pacing, and execution play a role throughout the competition. We strongly believe that once a race is completed, the final time at the finish line should determine the result. We would understand if a penalty we had made an error, but we lost a championship because of mistakes we did not cause. This is just not about one race. It's about fairness and competition. While race conditions can be unpredictable, I'm running out of gas, guys. Last sentence. While race conditions can be unpredictable, selective post-race adjustment is not fair play and sets a dangerous precedent for future referees. If video review is to be used of altering results, then a comprehensive and standardized approach must be applied across all competitors. Whew.
Yeah, and that last statement that a video review is going to be used, it should be listed out in the rules as to how to be done. Now, in my mind, like I said, you can't just go in and video review thing like when they did to Sean Noble, when they penalized him for his lunges out of just some random review, not a judge saying something happened, just somebody randomly brought a video for it. That's ludicrous. That's nuts. Now this, I think, I can't say this is the same because I don't know that judge didn't go for it, because I've had judges come to me and say, I made a mistake. I fucked it up, and I've affected the outcome of the race. And to me, if that's the case, you try to fix it, right? But if the judge doesn't do that, I'm not just going to have some random video come up. I won't even look at a random video.
Let's play speculation. This is how it could have gone down. This is like one of those shows. This is how it could have gone down. By the way, Rye, I do want to read what you wrote because I think you're explaining it really good, but or really well. But here, let's just play like this is all the scenario I'm thinking. Innocent judge. That's what we'll call her. Innocent judge is having lunch, and somebody from the timing team walks by, or somebody she knows, and she goes, "Hey, by the way, I sent the team to the wrong lane, and this other team got to pull it ahead of time. What should the ruling be?" And they'll go, "Oh yeah, we'll fix that. They shouldn't have had to do." You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And like that's what happened. She didn't even explain that they both had to. You know what I'm saying? Like let's just say she poorly explained it, or not even that. She said it to somebody who said it to somebody who. It eventually was just like, hey, give these guys a 5-second bonus. Like that's how it all went down. That's why the right people didn't actually know. And it was like, oh, wait, what happened? So I can't remember. Did we look into this when the stuff happened to Noble? Do they have it in their language that they can accept? Because
no, they don't.
DEKA added, we can use our own stuff, which also means OCR, or actually they said any official media, which includes me.
It's essentially any Spartan or DEKA recognized.
Right. Official media. So DEKA, when the Sean Noble stuff came up, I feel like we read the rule. We talked about
there's nothing in it about video review whatsoever.
All right. Well, they got to work on that because
that's what we said then.
Even if Sean Noble, not that you would do this, Sean Noble or anyone does the double bird and runs through the burpees, if they're, if like, right. Like you can't use video review if the judge didn't see it. You can't use video review, right?
Yeah, for that. And that's according to the rules, you cannot, because there is nothing in the video review. But you could also argue, well, there's nothing in the rules saying we can't use it. Because an email address was missing on the sign up.
Sean, I feel for you, buddy. I'm sorry that happened to you. What about losing world champ spots because an email address was signed up on you? I actually do want to talk to Rye about this, but I'll talk to you in person, Rye. I know you'd like to come on camera because I get what you're saying. I get they pulled a little more, but as Dylan and I discussed it, it was like, are you going to determine a win 51 meters over 49 meters, not 51 versus 40? A whole section. That's kind of what I think.
Their thought process was, and I do agree with this, the rest of the race is nothing. I'm focusing on this moment because the rest of the race can cloud your judgment and cloud your consistency. So you focus on the one moment at hand. And what whoever assigned these penalties decided, the team that came in originally, we cost them 5 seconds. That's what we cost them. So we're going to give them 5 seconds off. Then they said the second team who had the same problem, we cost them 5 seconds as well. However, their sled had already been pulled 3 seconds, so we cost them 2 seconds.
Right, but that's the part where I think but that's the time I think is wrong.
I'm not saying the time's right or whatever, and because I don't know how far that sled went. I don't have the whole video. I don't have distances. I don't have enough information. But that, to me, seems to be the logic that the officials went on. So, but as far as looking at the rest of the race, no, I would not look at the rest of the race. That stuff taints your judgment. You shouldn't even, if you want, you don't want to be aware of the rest of it because you want it to be in that moment and fair and decisive to what that moment. What the correct solution is for that moment.
I think you are correct, and I think this is what Daria used to always say to me when we were doing shoe reviews. Mm-hmm. I would almost always think of a shoe. This is for obstacle racing in terms of how does it compare to the shoe I love the most, right? Yeah. Like I love this Mach 5, so how does it compare to that? Yeah. And Daria was always like, "No, you're writing a shoe review about this shoe." Like you can make reference to it, but the positives and negatives like are the review about the shoe itself. Don't keep thinking about it because you see what I'm saying? I don't know if my analogy makes sense.
And for me, like I look at this back to I'm watching a hockey game, and a penalty in the first period should be a penalty in the last 2 minutes of the game. It should be the same thing. It should be consistent across the board, but it often isn't. And that's what I want. That's why you should be looking in just that moment. And just that moment is what happens. No matter what else is going on, it's that one moment, did this thing happen or did it not?
What do we think about the gloves being dropped 9 seconds in?
Oh, yeah. Hey, that's a good old hockey game. I'm fine with that. I've had my fair share of tilts.
Right?
Yeah.
Old time hockey, right?
Time hockey, yeah. for
Right.
sure. I'm all right with that. A couple of good boys. They probably went for a beer after. It was fine.
Right. I know very little about hockey, but I did watch. Did I tell you this last time or
I don't
one of
think
the
so.
times?
I don't think so.
There's a good. I think I might have brought this up. There's too many sports documentaries now, but there's one called Game Sevens, and it's just about some of the best Game Sevens, and two of them are hockeys. One of them's Islanders, and one of them's, I think, maybe Flyers. And you can learn a lot about hockey because it gives you the history, like what makes a good doc, like building the characters, building the story. So anyway, go watch those. Brenda, did you see that? Is that what you're talking about? You said it was amazing. Or was that is he talking about something else? So you haven't seen it though, is what you're saying?
I don't think so. I haven't watched it. I watch the games.
Okay. What do you and Rye watch at night?
We watch Big Bang, and then shockingly some really strange stuff like some anime. Not dirty anime, but just anime.
No, it's okay. My kids watch
Yeah.
anime. Once upon a time, anime meant dirty anime. Nowadays, it's all over the place.
Yep, and just like regular stuff, like Marvel stuff, everything. We watch everything.
Marvel stuff?
Yeah, like Marvel shows.
Oh, okay, right. The 9-second fight. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was awesome.
That's what he's talking about. I went to see Gladiator 2. Disappointing. I kind of was expected to be disappointed, and I was.
I wasn't. Yeah, I won't pay for that. I'll wait for it to be free.
Well, I'm going to tell you a story, Dave, which you'll appreciate. One of the few. Jackson has very little patience. I've sat down to watch many movies with him in the house, and he'll just walk out after like 10 minutes, even if it's something he loves. He's just not that kid. In the theater, obviously, he's fine. But we watched Gladiator together like 3 years ago, which was kind of like the perfect age, like 12-year-old. And he loved it, and we fucking bonded over it, And for a couple days, strength and honor, right? Like good shit. So I'm like, we got to see the sequel. And then it was like, oh, great, fucking robotic sharks in the fucking tank. Like, come on, dude, what are you doing? Stop it.
Yeah. Did you actually watch the game, or did you just watch the highlights of fights from the first game? Yeah,
I watched the highlights.
The final game was fantastic. It was a great game. Very exciting.
The one sport I still love is professional football, and I can't even watch those all the way through start to finish. I think the Super Bowl is the first game I watched start to finish all year.
Yeah. No. I watch hockey and racing all the way through.
F1?
F1, NASCAR, IMSA.
I didn't know you were a NASCAR guy.
Dude, I love all racing. All racing.
Is that why you picked up your wife? You were down here at Talladega for some racing, and you met your wife?
No, I was down there for different races for OCR.
I know, but it's Talladega though. Talladega Bone Frog.
Never been to a race at Talladega.
You did you or did you not do Bone Frog in Talladega?
No, I never did Bone Frog in Talladega.
Rye, did you do Bone Frog in Talladega?
She's not in the room, but she has. Yes. CG was terrible, and I'm not surprised with that either.
Is that what the kids are calling it now? CG? I thought it's CGI.
No time for that extra letter.
Just CG.
Yep.
Anyhow, Dave.
Yeah.
Do you know that Built for Athletes now has an F1 bag?
Wow. Well, they can even make it more expensive then.
Do you want to see? You want to see the new color? Sure. Do you want to see the new color ways and shit?
Yeah.
Hang on. Built for Athletes, the leading brand of performance-driven bags, has announced its latest supply deal with the BWT Alpine Formula One team. Do you know who is currently racing on that team?
Which one again?
Alpine? BWT?
Alpine? No, I can't remember which drivers they are.
All right. I will show you their photos, and you can, I know one of them. I recognize one of them. Actually, I recognize both of them. Let me do a little Instagram screen share. Oh, you know what? They might have done two deals. Hang on. Is there a second one? Hang on. I got a previous email earlier, and I thought it was the same one. It might be different. Oh, they are different. Hang on. They signed with Williams and can you do that?
I guess so. You could be the official bag supplier for two race teams. Sure, why not?
They I just didn't think that would happen. They Williams, old school brand, has done. I was trying to find pictures for you guys.
All right, will you do that, Alex? Eden, I don't actually have an F1 team, I just watch for some good racing. But because I'm in a race pool this year, and I have Lando Norris on my team, I'm going to have to pull for McLaren because I need the points. I would like Lance Stroll to be better because he's Canadian, but he just isn't.
Come on, dude.
He just isn't.
Yeah, you can't root for fucking Lance Stroll. Come on, dude.
I can't. It's terrible. I wish I could.
He's a fucking clown.
He's got some pretty impressive eyebrows.
Where the fuck is this? Dave, I wish I knew how to work the internet. I really don't. I just don't know how to work the internet.
So what you're saying though is they've expanded now. They've gotten so big from HYROX that now they've gone to F1.
Yes.
That's big. That's big news. It's big news for a big bag.
Okay, here you go, Dave. I'm going to open this now. I feel like such an idiot. I wrote that woman and said, oh, I already saw this, which proves I didn't read it all the way through. I apologize. Listen, I get a lot of fucking emails. What do you want? There you go.
Oh, God, I can't even see it. It's too blurry.
Come on, that's what's his name on the left. You made it airdrop it to you?
What is it, Oscar?
No.
I can't remember the.
You can't see that? God damn you, Dave.
No, it's very small on my screen.
Are you not looking at a laptop?
Yeah, but it's still really small.
Okay, how about if I hold it up like this?
That's slightly worse.
Are you opening it up online?
Yeah. Or Pierre Gasly.
Yes, Pierre. That's who that is. Gasly. I couldn't think of his fucking name.
Yeah, you know what? If you showed me a picture of Gasly on his own, I wouldn't recognize him.
They just changed so damn much.
Yeah.
These drivers, they just changed so damn much. Yeah, I think we might. Did we just get somebody to join us? It is 6:00, and it is time to welcome in the 6:00 guest. There he is.
It's the full price Dave Claxton.
I was gonna say it's Big Dave.
Is that what they call you? Dave is the half price Bubbles? Is that what we're calling you?
I'm the dollar store.
Dollarama.
Oh, you're so loud, bro. So loud. Can you turn that mic down a little bit?
Yeah,
a little hot.
New headphones.
There you go. No, I'm the dollar store Kevin Gregory, so he's the full price. He's like the Gucci Dave Claxton.
Okay, then what does that make Caitlin? What's Caitlin Troy going to be?
Well, she's just like the overpriced Kevin Gregory.
Okay. Well, welcome to the show, guys. We are in the DEKA Atlas portion of the program. And this weekend, if you didn't know it, was the first ever DEKA Atlas, which of course was going to be put on by probably Amber or probably Kevin. And it turns out it was Kevin. And Caitlin, I believe, is the first ever finisher. So you will now be, when I was a young person, Caitlin, sorry, I'm going to sound like your fucking father. When I was your age, they would say, future Trivial Pursuit answer. But nobody plays Trivial Pursuit anymore, I'm guessing. No? Do you know what Trivial Pursuit is, Caitlin?
I do, but I wouldn't know the rules.
Somebody reads a question and nobody knows the answer, and we all roll the dice again.
Well, Trivial Pursuit was, it was like trivia, right? Like random shit, but it was like you'd know some stuff, right? But very little of it. So it was mostly like you wouldn't know it, right? But Wikipedia didn't exist, ChatGPT didn't exist. So it was either in your head or it wasn't. And
Google?
Yeah, there was no Google. Although I can tell you there's always a system in place for certain sports questions, right? So if it was hockey, right, who is the answer going to almost always be, Dave?
Wayne Gretzky.
Well, but remember, this is the
Bobby Orr.
Yeah, or Gretzky, because it's the game came out in the 80s, so it wasn't all Gretzky yet. It was a lot of Bobby Orr. Caitlin, Jack Bauer statistics. Yes, exactly. Who did the first ever DEKA? I almost call it DEKA Heavy, which was another event that happened at the Spartan Games. So let's talk about this. Caitlin, did you want to be first, or did Kevin just go, by the way, here's your fucking time. You're 8 a.m. or 10 a.m. or whatever?
I mean, I'm always game for anything. So I was like, you know what? I'll go first. Like, nothing really bothers me. Like, I'm totally good with like being the test subject on anything. I was excited, and I was honestly looking forward to DEKA Atlas like more than anything else the entire day. So I was like, you know what? I'll do it.
Had you done any sims, as the kids say, leading up to it?
I tested like the stations more individually, but didn't really put it all together until yesterday.
And what was your DEKA Atlas mark?
1358, which when Kevin said it, I was like, no, there's no way. Like,
That's
absolutely
solid.
not. Like, I did not believe him. I thought he was lying to me. And then he was like, no, really. And I was like, I honestly thought I was going to be like 20 minutes, to be completely honest with you. So I was really shocked.
So, but did you even think about it? Like, hey, A goal is sub 15, B goal is sub 20, like anything like that?
Honestly, no. Especially this early in the season, I'm more of just like, where is my mark going to be right now? And then just trying to chip away at that. I'm getting to the end of the season.
Did you get a shirt and or medal? Are those out?
Yes. So well, this is the strong shirt.
Okay.
But I do like the new ones from this year. So I was like, oh, I got to wear that. Like, they're totally fresh, kind of rebranded, which I like. And then the medals were really cool for the Atlas.
Can you hold it up? Do you have it?
I don't have it with me. Of course, it's upstairs. But
I left mine at the gym.
I haven't got one yet.
Is there somebody working on a lathe or something behind you? Why is there a super bright light behind you that's going right into my eyeballs?
Me? Oh, that's
Other
Jess.
side.
That's Jess.
Who's Jess?
That's Jess. You know Jess. You call her Amber all the time.
I've never called you Amber.
Oh, we've called her Amber more than once. It's okay.
Okay.
So
it's just that.
Caitlin,
Go
when you
ahead.
finished, did Kevin make you hold up a sign saying world record holder?
no.
Come on, that would have been awesome. That would have been hilarious.
I want a picture with this. I like went and like.
Well, you're not just the world record holder. You are in fact U.S. record holder and Connecticut record holder. So I think all those should be in your profile.
Yeah, for now, right? I was like, everyone was like, oh, after you. And I was like, you know what? Records are meant to be broken. You know, keep on setting the standard. And, you know, it's always going to get faster as people figure out.
Listen, there could only be one first, though.
That is true.
It's my favorite thing to say when we're playing cards, or specifically poker, after the first hand. And I say, if you don't win the first hand, you can't win them all.
True.
So there you go.
I like
you
that.
can't win them. There can only be one first. Kevin, you like that one?
That was good, Matt.
I think I've rubbed off on you a little after our time in Vegas.
Matt, yeah, the circus. Everyone got the circus flu. So
Right. I didn't, because I already had something. I'm so happy.
Crazy.
I came back unscathed. I was so happy. Everybody's like, fuck, I got sick. I'm like, I didn't.
I did. So, Caitlin, how was it? Like, because you said you did individual stations, but you never strung it together. So how'd it go? What was the worst? What was the best?
The worst was by far the bear crawl. And it's actually really interesting because I feel like a lot of people have messaged me and commented and like, your bear crawl looked really good. I was like, oh, I'm like, are they saying that like, but I'm like, but I would say that was probably by far the worst part of it. And then after that, like it got significantly easier throughout the rest of the race.
Yeah. A lot of people that I've heard say that the shoulder to overheads, they shock them. And it's not really just that one station, but it's the accumulation of shoulder work by that point. And then to try to not break it up and go on broken, so you got to be really shoulder dominant to get through that.
Oh yeah. And especially I feel like for females, that's what's really going to separate kind of the female division in Atlas is really like how much can you take on the shoulders by that point in the race.
How much jumping rope did you do prior to this, like in your life? Are you someone that's like done a lot of double unders or jumped rope in general?
Probably not as much until like the past year. I started dabbling into CrossFit a little bit more. So I've been working on like stringing double unders together. So I have about 10 double unders in a row, but
Let's go.
Usually it's like a double under and then sometimes you'll string a couple singles in there. So I'm just trying to like get the rope moving faster. I did all 100 unbroken, which was one of my goals. Of just get through that. Like I could save a lot of time there and move into the next thing.
Did you
Matt, do you think we can get a patch for
I was
anyone?
about to say you should get
does
a Red Bull patch for that.
I'm gonna make that.
Apparently,
Unbroken.
first of all, have we confirmed those only exist over there? Like, I've never seen one here.
Either. I just found out about it at the end of the 2 days of Vegas. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then
And isn't it for only pro wave singles, right?
I've heard a lot of rumors, but I don't know any. I
the
still haven't
initial
seen
thought.
one.
Yeah, I think it's a cool thing. All right, Dave, Kevin.
Matt.
How and when did you become like, oh, I'm gonna have the first one, or did he just say anytime after February 24th and you were like the first one, or did he want you to go first and test it? What do you got there, buddy?
Is that River?
No, it was Jackson.
Jackson. I didn't see. So I was in the mix of when Yancey was developing something different, and I know Dave was in those conversations, and as Yancey started piecing it together, talked to some ideas and whatnot. So I knew it was coming, and then when he announced it last year, I was like, all right, when's the date going to be? When's the date going to be? I can put my date for whatever. I definitely want to have an early one. We're early adopters of things. We're a very great, our group, both our athletes that we train and our regular people that come to our events that are part of other gyms are very, they're excited to come out and do the event. So ruck, we ran out of ruck patches this weekend, which is awesome. We've had, a lot of people do anything and everything, like Caitlin, show up like, oh, I'm not just racing once. It's not, the norm with us is not to race one thing. So now to have a new product, we want to try it. So I definitely want to get it on the calendar hi Dave, as early as possible. And before I picked our winter date, I was like, when is this going to be available? And it was hung up on the shirts and the medals. As anybody that's followed DEKA Worlds knows, we're still waiting for those. But once the date was determined, I was like, okay, this is the date you said. This is the date I'm having my winter DEKA Strong. We're putting Atlas on, and we were able to get that approved, and boom, no better place for DA01.
I have a thought. What if you made them jump into an icy pond just to get their bib before they start, and then they do the DEKA Atlas?
That sounds like terrain race. We started in a pool, and then they said go, and you had to climb out of the pool.
Oh, that was, come on,
They did a death race.
Yeah, that was a death race reference.
I didn't watch Death Race. I never did Death Race. I know you've been there, but
dude, it's like every clip they ever share from the winter death race is people jumping in ice. Dave got it right away, and for the podcast non-video listeners, rolled his eyes like a
I am not a
Gen Z teenager. He was like, "Oh God!"
Not a death race enthusiast whatsoever.
Well, Matt, we had the best weather in New England all winter yesterday for our indoor event. But I think for our following would have done whatever if that was something like, oh, you have to do this after, like, okay, or before. Okay, let's go. We're like Caitlin said, we're getting our marks early in the year to see where we're at, and then see how far we're gonna train and get better over the year.
I'm quite impressed that that DEKA mark stuck. I mean, it's like labors. Like I was just like, no one's gonna kill it a mark. You guys are calling it a mark.
You gonna say time?
I just say time or score. Here's a question: if during the race, if during the event, you can enter it, right? And I can see it. The gyms I've been to, they have it on the board.
Yep.
Right. I know it takes 2 weeks to get updated to the big board, but why can't I just go to those? Like, do you post yours like the day it happened? Can I see those?
You can go. I look at other gyms all the time and see what's happening.
Is it under race result, or do I have to get a special link?
No, race result. It's all there.
So it's there just like a 5K or anything. It's just there.
Yeah. It doesn't get uploaded to the global leaderboard immediately because Nelson single-handedly has to take them and approve them and then put them in. Yes. But with Spartan changing the platform, he has to go back and reorganize all the ones from post September 24th or whatever and put them into the global leaderboard plus this year's. So Nelson, big props for having a lot of work to do.
God bless you, Nelson. God bless you, Nelson. P.S. It looks like shit. The new one, right? If you go to the old race result, which you still can do, like for Spartan before it moves to the big one, and it's got the weird like all caps square, the color's bad. It sucks. So sorry, Spartan, but you really fucked it. That's one thing you were doing really well, right? Especially in a week that HYROX had bad
timing with Mika.
bad news about timing.
To Mika.
Hey, Kevin, good news. It's coming back.
What?
The
Mika.
old timing system. Yeah.
Oh, cool. So me and Mike's time will be uploaded immediately, not in a week and a half for our doubles.
Well, it's still not ready.
Damn.
Hey, I did another PFT this weekend.
Congratulations. Did you beat your time from the previous?
Did not. Clearly you
Did
don't
you
follow
not
my
try,
stories.
or-
Clearly you
I
don't
was
follow my
just
stories. well.
hosting the world's first ever Atlas to get Caitlin Troy all face and medal and superior fitness all over the socials.
How many world records were set this weekend at your place, Kevin? I mean, massive amounts.
Well, just two were set. We had, I mean, the DEKA Atlas marks were set and then beat. So,
Yep,
but
so that's
the-
another one.
yeah, you can count them up however you like. The Ruck women's record was attempted but not beaten.
That's a solid mark right now.
Raquel beat it on Saturday, and then Kayla PR'd but did not beat it on Sunday. She missed it by 20 seconds or so. She beat the old mark. So if Raquel didn't race Saturday, Kayla would have beat it on Sunday, but it's always moving.
Well, I honestly only mention it to say two things. Number one, something has been unlocked. I can actually get a lot lower on wall balls than I could before, and I didn't even I honestly didn't realize it. It wasn't until I was doing it I was like, oh, something's changed here. So stuff still hurts. I got weird shit going on. But
Cheryl
very happy.
Snow must have taught you how to properly unlock your hips.
No. It's just, I'm seeing this new PT lady. It's all in the pelvis.
Should you give a shout out for any local Atlanta people to go visit this PT?
So listen, I'm about to do. Her name's Shayna, and I'm actually nice Jewish lady, and I'm actually about to go there and do a VO2 test. So breaking news right now. I don't know if you guys want to spread the word, but I'm going there to do a VO2 test. And we're going to do the VO2 max test and some other stuff, and then we're going to show her whole little setup. But here's the good news about the PFT is it really it just keeping that fresh energy going of everybody there is like, so you doing Atlanta HYROX? You doing Atlanta HYROX? How many have you done? Are you doing singular doubles? Like all that energy. It's new people. These people drove down from Chattanooga to do this event in Atlanta, and then my feed is not only filled with all the normal fitness stuff and the normal HYROX stuff, but now a bunch of HYROX gyms are doing PFTs, and there's a guy that's going to do a triathlon. Like I'm seeing so many, forget the triathlon for a second. I'm seeing so many first HYROX PFT in such and such county or such and such city, like crazy. So that HYROX hasn't even, barely scratched the surface in the US yet. And specifically where I live, it's like, this wasn't there before. So it's a lot of first one, come be a part of it. So I will probably go to a bunch more, do some of them, and sometimes just shoot some content. There is a DEKA Atlas happening. I want to shout out Ant at Oxfit. They're doing a DEKA Atlas at night, Friday Night Light situation. It might be this Friday. It might be this Friday.
Yeah, it is. Let's get out there, sign up. Now's your chance to go after the newly established DEKA marks for the Atlas.
So then I should probably do foundations then, shouldn't I?
You should get out there. You should live stream it, Matt.
Matt, you can do the foundations. That will be Caitlin's weights for you as a man. And then you can see if you can beat Caitlin.
What if I do the first ever? Did you guys do foundations there?
Yeah, we had a couple of people do foundations.
Damn it. I wanted to be the first ever.
I
wanted to be the Caitlin. I wanted to be the Jackie Robinson / Caitlin Troy of my generation.
You're a little too pasty for that, but Matt, you could go after. There's a leaderboard with foundations with not too many people on it, so you could be top 5 guaranteed.
All right, I might drop a. They're pretty strong over there at Oxfit, so they're probably all going to do the real one. But you know what?
That's
if I can beg Clayton to come with me, because Clayton's my partner in crime, usually comes with me. Is it this Friday for real?
I think so. They're pretty. I know they weren't weekend one. I think they are the second one.
So is this?
I think it's this weekend?
Yeah, I was going to say, are they literally the second one?
Yeah,
well, we got one coming next weekend up here too.
Yeah, so second or third, whatever. Probably the second, because Dave's isn't going to be
Friday night, Dave.
No, that's right. It won't be Friday night. It'll be Saturday through the day. They'll get us by a few hours.
Are you doing a full? Are you going to do one? Or are you going to judge, Dave?
Both.
Okay.
I'm going to judge myself. That way, it's done really good. And
So
yeah. I'm going to go. Amber's Gym's having one, so I'm going to go and I'm going to help judge, and I'm going to put in a run. Put in my
first. Surprised, Matt, that it's at Amber's Gym, one of the top 3 atlases.
Should we look up the results from your gym, Kevin?
Yeah, go ahead. If you can't find it, I'll send you the link. While you're doing that, I want to just ask you a question, Matt.
Yes.
You asked when it's probably over the summer. You're like, we should make a DEKA or a HYROX Strong leaderboard. And we had a HYROX Strong on Saturday at Underdog. So we have data for you to add into your HFM HYROX Strong leaderboard.
Dude, I don't want to sound like an almost 53-year-old man who's losing his memory, but when did I say that to you? I have no idea.
It's true. You did. I was there.
On this show, I said it. In person, I said it.
You wanted to do an online thing, like an online HFM leaderboard. Absolutely. He's right.
That must have been slow times because we're so fucking busy now, like with all the events. I feel like that must have been a slow week. I was like, let's create a HYROX Strong.
Yeah.
Sure, it wasn't a HYROX. No, that's the thing. I said, oh, if we did like a HYROX, should we have a leaderboard for that? I thought that's what I said.
Yeah, either way, I think the HYROX Strong's fine. You can have one of each. I'm sure you can manage that. Jack can pull all the numbers in.
Listen, don't mess with me. My memory's bad enough as it is, honey. They try to tell me I said something. Honey, what's the matter?
Jackson, don't wake him up because it's none of your deal. Get inside.
Families.
Yeah.
Hi,
so
Stacey.
Kev, why is your time not on the leaderboard?
Because I registered late and you can't manually add that, so I'm missing.
First of all, you don't count. You didn't report in the proper time. You don't count.
I have a picture and a medal, just not with me, and
a video.
And a video. Yeah, the whole thing's live stream.
Okay. Are you
people calling you out over here?
Kevin? Are you the Beach to Boulders 2025 in Paris, California? Is that you?
No.
How about the El Paso Marathon? Are you the El Paso Marathon? No, it's not you either.
I've never been to El Paso. They have salsa there though.
That's where Eddie Guerrero was from.
Where's the quickest way to find this? There's like 1,000 events on Race Result. Where's the fastest way to find this?
Dude, don't go on Race Result.
It's not a Race Result. It's what
I'm looking on Race Result.
No,
it's not a Race Result.
Are you the Beanie Boy Canuck Chase Winter Classic?
The Canuck, yes, the Canadians. Matt, I'm texting you the link.
Don't text it to me. Send it on here. Send it on here.
Private chat. No, that's not the link. I copied the link.
I'm sorry, guys.
Caitlin, welcome to this.
There you go.
I'm really sorry. Houston, Texas,
94.
Matt mentioned the leaderboard, a big deal. Mentioned it like 4 separate times and doesn't even remember it. But now I remember the HYROX as a thing.
Yeah.
I don't remember the DEKA Strong or the half.
The HYROX Strong.
HYROX Strong. I got one coming this weekend too. I'm doing the Atlas on Saturday and then HYROX on Sunday.
HYROX, is that what you guys are calling the HYROX Strong? That's fine. I'll steal that. I didn't have anything cooler. Dave Warfel, master of the fitness experiments, so search Underdog. But I just sent you the link so you can pull it right up.
Yeah, I got that. We're doing the Atlas on Saturday and that on Sunday. 2 different places.
We did in the other order. We did the HYROX or the HYROX Strong on Saturday and the Atlas and everything on Sunday.
All right, well, Dave can't read this, so I'll have a little peek for him. Caitlin Troy, number 1 overall in the DEKA Strong, 14:10. So you beat all the guys too?
Her and Christine beat all the guys.
Her what?
Her and I just mentioned the top 2 are female.
So
that's a solid time.
That's solid, eh?
If you look at the ruck drop down, we had some decent times there as well.
AJ, of course.
Now all we want to see is 45.
So Kayla was only 6 seconds after AJ. Nice.
We're okay.
Yeah, they raced.
Joe Rucco in the house. Joe Rucco, sorry, in the house.
Actually, Joe brought his orange jacket for us to hang up at the gym. This is from the first time he got 100 miles because they didn't give him one at the second time. They said he already has one. He's good. He doesn't need a second 100-mile award.
See, that's bullshit. You should definitely get the new one. Jordan Knight, is that one of the new kids?
Jordan Knight, he's in the Army, and he came in his fatigues and his Army ruck. He lost 100 pounds in his fitness journey, and Christine Pavlicek knows him and invited him in. It's not that guy.
Okay. Caitlin, do you know this one?
Nope.
You're better off.
You don't know the new kids?
Caitlin
What if
wasn't
I
born
told
yet.
you this is like a 30 for 30? What if I told you that before Instinct or the Backstreet Boys, there was a little band called the New Kids on the Block?
I have heard of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if I told you that one of the members' name is Donnie Wahlberg, and he has a little brother named Mark, and Mark ends
They
up
make
being
hamburgers?
more famous than all of them. Marky Mark.
And now
Did
they
you
make
say Mark as well?
hamburgers.
And
Now
now
they
the
make
Wal-
hamburgers?
And now they make hamburgers.
Yeah, but
And
he doesn't do full pull-ups, so it's upsetting.
Donnie's on Blue Bloods. He's Danny Reagan.
Oh, okay.
Look at you-
I was
look
like,
at
I've heard of
you.
that. Like, I've heard
Oh,
of
now
it.
you so
And
now you
that's-
now you know lame CBS shows, you know.
Oh, I do. I was like,
Oh.
my parents watched a lot of them, so yes,
God.
I do.
Oh shoot, I lost the leaderboard now.
So, Kev, how was your first run through?
It was good. I waited. Some people wanted me to go first, and I thought about it, but I was like, as the host, I want to make sure it runs smoothly. I can wait till the end. I want to make sure we're on time. And looking at the roster, I was like, let me ask some of the athletes. And I thought of Caitlin first, and was like, hey, would you like to be the face of the first finisher? Yes.
But see, that's
great.
good. But see,
Great. I
that's
didn't have to
awesome.
twist it. She wasn't like, oh, I don't really want to. She's like, yeah, let's go. I'm like, perfect. This
I
is
think
it.
that was the right move, Kevin, to not make it about you. I think that was great.
I don't want to make it about me. I have enough things looking at me. I'll just go last, and then actually, if you look at our leaderboard, show me. There's 3 CrossFitters that were on there for the males, and one of them's like, "Oh, are you going to go next?" I'm like, "Oh, so I want you to have the record for a minute, so I'll let you guys go, and then I'll collect it at the end once you set the bar for me." So it
Is
went
that
well.
what the CrossFitter said?
Yeah,
Um,
from the Golden Goose, one of
Is
them.
that-
I don't remember which one.
is that
Hey,
Zach
Billy-
Morello?
Billy went first for men, so he was the second ever finisher. No,
Okay.
actually, no. Billy Richards went second. Then Billy Nowitzki went third. And these 3 guys obviously went to the same gym. They all came as a team. They're all friends. I don't know if it was Adam or Zach because I met them both yesterday, and I don't know the difference. But one of them, he was like, "Are you going to go next?" And I was like, that was that conversation.
So what was your time?
My time was 11:18.
So they were 14 something, and they thought they were going to beat you. That they were going to beat
No.
the king.
The king. Well, it was there. It's more a CrossFit thing than a DEKA Strong thing. There was no bike. There was no row, no ski. And I did doubles with one of our athletes. Well, he trains at our gym. We went sub 9, so it's not like I took it easy on that one.
Is there an Atlas doubles?
Not
No.
yet. I'm sure it'll
Okay.
come out. An Atlas Ruck and all kinds of great new
All right, well, can I
conglomerations.
I've already tried that. You don't want any part of it. It's horrible.
Can I nominate me and Clayton to be the first Atlas Foundation's doubles, and we just trade off?
It would be unofficial. You wouldn't go on the leaderboard,
Don't-
as Nelson would say.
Excuse me. What in my mind, in my heart, I'll know. That's all that matters. You think I need a fucking leaderboard?
Yeah, I think Stacy could make you a certificate.
Do I
and then
have
hang
to
it on the
remind
fridge.
you who the fuck I am?
Dylan, you know what? After that, he got sick. So I hope you can stay healthy after that statement, Matt. The flu didn't care. COVID, or whoever, whatever you got.
The important question is how many guys over 45 did your Atlas? Any good times there that I need to beat?
Yeah, we'll pull. Matt flashed it for like 2 seconds and
Pull
then
it
took
back.
it away.
Come on, man. Get in line. Come on, man. You got one job. One job.
I have 5 jobs. I'm trying to produce this television program.
All right, we'll try to do one.
There are some changes. There's two people missing from here. Joe Michael, World's Toughest Mudder finisher, brown bib earner. Matt Duval, he ran foundations, but the system's messed up. So his time is the record for foundations, Matt,
There you
just
go.
so you know, have something to go after.
20
There's
over.
And then-
so I can't break it up by age group though.
No, there should be some other sorting, but Matt's the oldest one here. He's 53 and he did foundations.
All right.
All these other guys are probably in their 30s.
All right.
And Billy Richards, Joe Michael is over 40, and
Oh, yeah?
I don't know if he's 45. I'll look it up while we're chatting and get back to you.
Joe
Hey,
Michael.
so should we add this? Remember the thing that that Marcus came up with? Was it Marcus or Colin that came up with the HYROX DEKA. What do we call that thing? This is the leaderboard maybe that you guys are worried about.
Oh, I remember. No, it's not. Totally not. It's a different thing.
There
But
used to
you're
only be a
talking
couple
about
people, but now everybody's done it, or a lot of people.
the Hyfecta.
The Hyfecta,
Hyfecta.
yeah. So
Oh,
should we
yeah.
add Atlas to the Hyfecta?
No,
Whatever you
Atlas isn't even a hybrid race.
No, it's not. It's exercise. It's CrossFit.
The Metcon.
And that's why I'm like, that's my favorite of all the DEKAs. I was like, after I walked out of there, I was like, I like this one the best.
There you go. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I've had people message me and try to get me on that. Well, Atlas isn't a hybrid race. I'm saying, no, it's not. It's totally not.
You got me.
You're absolutely right.
I missed this comment.
Which one?
Brian the Ginger checking in. There aren't a lot of people on the leaderboard because DEKA is telling us we can't do one yet because they aren't ready, but they are ready.
Yeah, just this weekend. Yeah.
By the way, DEKA is all caps. If you don't all caps it, they get very upset.
And they do
Yeah.
like that.
Don't you know about the standards?
Brandon.
Dave got it right. Mr. Fitness Experiment got it right.
He's a
Yeah,
detail
Dave Warfel's
guy.
all over it.
So what else do we have in the notes, Dave?
Joe Michael, born in 1977. Matt, you do the math on his age.
He's 5 years younger than me. I'm about to turn 53. So,
Yeah. So
53
he's
minus 5.
2 years younger than me. So close to me. And what was his time? Kev, do you know his time?
Not off the top of my head. I had to submit an affiliate request for him because he signed up late too. I'll tell you in 1 second. I'll be.
All right.
Yeah, you already said that once. I'm going to look at it later. I can't find my
Okay,
notes.
then what's next?
Actually, I don't know. I am signed up for like another strong in April. A couple like CrossFit comps, Washington DC HYROX end of March. So like once that hits, it's a lot of back-to-back weekends, but it'll be fun.
Will you be doing the Open?
I hope so. I just competed in the beginning of the year at the Fittest Experience in Texas, and we moved into the next kind of round, the Invitational in Oklahoma.
All right, let's go.
May.
Good for you.
So I'm excited about that, and that does potentially open
What
spots for that.
What about the rolls right off the tongue World's Fitness Project World Champion?
I mean, I'd be down. Like, listen, I love all this kind of stuff. So really, whatever I can do.
Okay, speaking of CrossFit though, before you guys go, stop typing. It's coming up on my screen. These guys, they're sending dirty messages to each other. I have a video I want you to watch that I don't think you've seen. And let me close all these other windows. No, I think this will work. Hang on, let me close all these other windows.
This is a hell of a process.
So Canadian of you, Dave.
Dave, I want to get your feedback on this, but then I want everybody's feedback. And if it starts in the middle, I'm just going to let it play all the way through. So don't get mad if it starts in the middle.
Built the margin of experience. He was a gymnast. That's it. Yep. Right. He was good on the CrossFit is an athletic form of training. I said, no, it's nothing but sagittal plane bilateral hip hinging. So you hinge in a sagittal plane. That's it. Everything looks like hinging and going forward. Kipping pull up. Every move was a bilateral hip hinge.
I got a term I use, sagittal plane warrior. It's like,
yeah,
ooh.
Everything can get done in a hallway. And the reason being is, look at where Greg built the margin of experience. He was a gymnast. That's it.
Yep.
Right. He was good on the rings, all straight ahead. There's
and
rotations.
not a ton of ground-based activity either.
Yeah. The best trick, Glass member pulled was convincing the world that work capacity and athleticism were the same. If you're trying to run a gym model, it's a lot easier just to have somebody do nothing but bilateral hip hinging and smoke them to fucking death and then show them, we did this workout 3 minutes. Now you did it.
Dave, your thoughts?
I don't think I'm enough of an expert to comment on whether it's all just hip hinging. I see more than that. I have some disagreements with the way CrossFit does some of their stuff. Constant high level intensity, I don't think is right. I do think that you need some more easier effort so that you don't burn yourself out. But the thing with CrossFit is CrossFit says everything is CrossFit. So if they say everything is CrossFit, how can it all be hinging? Because they do bring out bench pressing. They do bring out pull-ups. They do have strict pull-ups. They do have push-ups. They do have other stuff that is not hip hinging. So
I loved Sagittal Plane Warrior.
It is a great term. It should be a
That
tattoo on
last
his back.
bit, that last bit, you did the workout faster. You're getting fitter. That was Greg's biggest thing. Bubbles, what is your take on that?
That's not always the case.
As a professional coacher of people, Bubbles, what is your thoughts?
I mean, that's, I don't know. If you want CrossFit umbrella to cover everything, then
do you know how much,
be anything.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you know how much we pay Bubbles a year to come on and give his insight and expert opinion? And he comes on with, I don't know. Caitlin, your thoughts?
I mean, I think I kind of agree with Dave that, there are aspects of it that are the gymnastics, but then there's other stuff to it. I mean, I think they're trying to figure out now, so too, with like the swimming aspect of it, like they're going more running. And I've also noticed too, there's a lot more erg work on both like ski and row that they're starting to add more into these WODs than ever before. So I feel like they're even trying to take a little bit more of like a hybrid as it progresses forward.
That's an educated answer, Matt. That's why you brought Caitlin on here, not me.
I think
CrossFit
we do not have unlimited dollars here, as you probably heard. So I don't think I have room for both of you.
That's all right. You can keep Caitlin. She's got much more
I
insight.
think you might have to go, Bubbles.
The bike isn't big anymore. I'm out. I'm gone.
So my problem with
wait a minute, is that the famous logo right there?
Yeah, this is Finley. She's got a white paw and a black paw.
No.
So my
laws
incorporating everything is when they say everything is CrossFit, that kind of means nothing is CrossFit. Because if you're pulling everything into it, really, what are you other than you're just saying, I am everything? And
I am at fitness.
Only, exactly. So that's what bothers me. I think like when they start bringing in paddle boarding and swimming and stuff like that, it's just to me, it becomes now, and even some of the gymnastic stuff they try now, it's almost like, human tricks. Like,
yeah, but I feel like maybe just maybe at the games this year, we'll see less of that because that's kind of all been brought to the surface lately with all the negative shit they're getting. Now, I don't think Dave cares either way, but maybe what's his name is saying, hey, Dave, let's not do pirouettes on steps on this, on that this time.
I think you will see more true what people would call CrossFit at the World Fitness Project.
Which is what?
I think you'll see
Olympic lifts and
classic Metcons, Olympic lifts and stuff like that. Less stuff that you would almost call gimmicky.
But I was saying at the games, do you think they'll be like, okay, everyone's saying we're too hard. Let's not do that.
You'll get your full gimmicky stuff.
All right. Someone was asking if you were doing the open, Dave.
No, I'm not.
Okay. Because you usually don't as an active protest.
I'm of an active protest.
Oh, good. Good for you.
No, I'll straight out. I got no problem saying it. I feel that the way CrossFit handled Lazar's situation was wrong. And I feel even more so that if I was running CrossFit, there is no way I would have Dave Castro as a representative for me when not only did he handle the situation poorly, but the day after went to every athlete and every fan watching and lied to them about the grieving family's wishes. And to me, that's something that you shouldn't get away scot-free. Like that's yeah. So my only protest I can do is to keep my $20 to myself.
And de-affiliate your gym.
Well, I don't really have the power to do that one because I don't have a CrossFit gym.
I know. Well, I actually
affiliate my dining room.
So listen, I'm with you on all those points. But if I give them all the benefit of the doubt, right? If I do think they're ultimately responsible, right, for not enough people in the water and for clearly not training those people in the water, all those things. But basically, there's people that want Dave's head on a spike and basically like, why didn't he dump in the water and save her? Like that kind of other side of the spectrum that's a little crazy. What Emma Tall posted, and many have posted since, but her specifically saying, it's not just what happened that day. It's not about the lying. It's since then, they've had all these opportunities to make it better and fix it, and they haven't. And they haven't done, from what I can tell, shit. So it's like, that's kind of, to me, the thing is like, even if you can get past, like, I don't like Dave and I never have, and he makes it about him and he lied to the athlete, all those things. But it's just like, hey, they've had this chance now. It's been how many months since August? 8, 7? And she's like, yeah, I really wanted to give them a chance and they didn't fix it. So it's a bummer, really.
Yeah. And so that's where I'm at. Like, and like I say, Caitlin's doing it. I think that's freaking awesome because I hope you do it and I hope you kick some ass, and that's great. For me that it bothers me, and that's the only way as a customer I can express my displeasure to the company is to withhold my dollars.
Well, did we ask last week if you were going to do whatever the WFP version is?
You messaged me and asked me if I would do that one. I'd give it a shot. I haven't got a lot of information on it.
Do you know when they're announcing it? Do you know when they're announcing the workouts and stuff?
I know. But I did say we had a DEKA event at our gym this weekend too, to go inside with Kevin's. And but we didn't have Atlas. Our gym just doesn't have all the gear yet to set it up.
Dude, I could have brought you over a freaking jump rope and a couple of fucking dumbbells. What's the problem?
It probably would have done it. And maybe they could have even been, look, it's me again. Why do I keep getting these close up? Anyway, it could have even been matching dumbbells. Wouldn't that have been cool? No, yeah, we had a good event though. We had great. We had, I don't know if you saw it, but the Farm Girl put up the story about Sam, who was a guy who had a very terrible accident and came back and did a deck, and he was back again and did another run, and he was very emotional. We had a lot of tears. This time. We always do. Farm Girls always tons of tears during our events. Always sorts of. And I saw something that, Matt, you can appreciate. I saw Chelsea Grant's parents throw down a doubles time.
Let's go.
In the over 120 mixed, and they were really good.
120 to infinity.
120 to infinity.
Is that what we call it?
That's what they call it.
Yeah. So they were awesome. They did a really good job. Super people. No surprise. You can see where Chelsea gets her athletic ability. And then her brother stepped in and did a partnership with her too, and his first thing out of nowhere, and they ran like a 950 or something like that. Hi, me again.
Wow. Do they have purple hair too, or is that genetic?
No,
or
that is
it's
shockingly. You know what? I'm going to be honest, Kevin. I don't think that's her natural color.
Oh, tattoos? Are they all tattooed?
Yeah, those are real. We tried.
She's intimidating to look when you first meet her, but such a sweetheart. And I had the pleasure of teaming up with her once for a sub-9 DEKA Strong team.
She is
if
awesome.
somebody saw you, Kevin, like they might say that about you, right?
I'm just a friendly fella.
No, you're extremely friendly. I saw you in action, and you're a chatty all-star at the Puma HYROX. You're making friends. Some people recognize you. People that didn't, you're just chatting away with. But you can't judge a book by its cover, is what I'm saying. If somebody just saw you, this bald, muscly guy in a weird, tight shirt with a dog.
That's Dave minus the dog shirt.
Right. All right, guys. I believe we covered everything. Did I miss anything else, Dave?
Nah.
All right. Well,
other than your PFT time, you didn't say your PFT time. You didn't say where
we're still waiting. Did you get a color of badge?
To see
well, let's just say it would have been the final color of badge, but they did not have badges at this one. My buddy Clayton, shout out Clayton. Clayton beat his time by 10 minutes. So
good job, Clayton.
I think he earned a silver if they were giving him out.
So starting shipping HYROX badges now? Is that what you're saying?
No, they just listen. It's so new here in Atlanta. We just don't have them yet. But I honestly don't know the time because I was doing it with my watch, and then I stopped it, and then I tried to start it again. But it was worse than I can tell you it was worse than the last time. I have no shame in saying that. I'm just thrilled.
Wall balls correctly. That's fine.
Dave, you saw my wall balls, right?
From the last one, not from this one.
You did. Well, now I have to show you.
Well, if you have a video, why are you not posting it? Put it live right now.
I did. It was in my stories.
Nobody has time for that. We're busy.
Yeah.
We're living in the now.
All right. Time to go eat.
Bye, everybody. See you later.
Take care.
Yeah.
Bye.
Oh, I didn't end the show.